Welcome to Basement MTG with me, a nerd in his basement. In this video, I'm going to be opening up a play booster box of Edge of Eternities. I haven't opened a ton of this. I've only opened up a bundle of it. And I haven't looked at a lot of spoilers, so I don't necessarily know all the cards in this set. But I'll do my best to not go too slow or too quick. So let's get into it. This over here for now. And we'll get after it. So let's see. I like that this set focuses a lot on artifacts. I like the landfall. There's a lot of draw card mechanics in this set from what I've seen. Speaking of landfall, into the uncommons here. Like that. And I haven't seen this. Let's see. Vigilance Menace. Whenever another creature you control dies or put into exile, put a 1/1 counter on him. Gain a life. If dies or is put into exile as power 4 or greater, destroy one target non-land permanent. And I guess with the way... yeah, with Warp, could be getting that guy going pretty good. This enters 3 damage to any target. 7 mana is pretty hefty, but alright. Land in a token. Four damage to target creature as an instant. Now see, I'm used to, what's that one called out? That's running, that's out of my head now, but 1 red mana and it's a sorcery for 4 damage to a creature. That's what I run in my Stuffy Doll deck to burn the voodoo doll. Or more likely the player you choose him to be after. Attach it to a creature. They gain hexproof until end turn +1/+2. I mean, it's not terrible. 3, a little bit of expensive quick cost. I like to separate out the lands, so I'm going to separate that out. Some lander token business. I like all these artifacts they've been making that you can sack for various things, foods and landers and clues and treasure. Token creature deals combat damage to a player, 2 poison counters. I did not realize there was any poison counters in this set. It's interesting. 1 damage to each opponent. He enters. Okay. More lander token creation and some landfall. And let's see. Menace, ward, discard a card. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. And opponent controls. It's interesting. Foil spacecraft. When it enters Surveil 2. Land and token. Alright. Sack this creature to draw a card. Flash, flying. Man, they really give 1 mana commons a lot of stuff now. Flash, flying, sack it to draw a card. That power creep is real. Enters, create a 1/1 white human warp. Death touch, plant scorpion, okay. Give something else death touch till end of turn. I mean, that's not bad for a common either, really. Okay. If it's not your turn, untap them. I like these types of features, especially when you're using it for spacecraft or vehicles and such. Get your creatures back to untapped. 2 Servandums. Uncommon and a rare. Alright. Death Touch lifelink whenever he enters or attacks. Creatures you control +1/+0 and getting Death Touch. Okay, I like that. That's pretty legit. Card one in your hand and dies. Each player creates a lander. 1 mana 2/2 reach is nice, but I don't like helping out my opponents very much. Unless you can figure out some way to make it beneficial to you even more. Okay. An artifact food, eh? Enchant artifact creature you control. First time you'd create 1 or more tokens each turn. Instead, create that many tokens that are a copy of enchanted permanent. This would go good in like a Biovisionary deck. Enchant Biovisionary. Get some tokens out at the end of turn. If you have 4 or more, you can win the game. And foil common. Excuse me. Another one of the jellyfish. Plant, scorpion. Okay. Gotta create the lander token, but it's forcing you to sack it. Or it just gets sacked anyway. Tapping. Oh! Interesting art. Deafening silence. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. A 1 mana enchantment. Okay. That is interesting. Put that up here. I don't know. Some awesome artwork. Hopefully I can get some more of this type of cards. I like when they do goofy, different artworks like this. Spices your deck up a little bit. 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That's pretty good. 5/4 flying trample. 1 mana of any color. Sack it to draw cards. Access different named lands you control. Not bad. Need a token, sacrifice an artifact. 2 damage to each creature. A rare land. Ooh. Some more different art. I like that. Choose 1, exile creature or planeswalker. Return 1 or 2 target creature or planeswalkers from the graveyard to your hand. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until end turn. That is awesome. 3 black mana. Might just have to go right into my OG black deck there. It's nice. A foil uncommon. And when the artifact control enters, get a 2/2 token. Land and token. All right. Reach, trample, indestructible, and untap it. Man. And the 1/1 counter. It's pretty good. This enters, discard a card, draw 2. A little bit of insectors, some more jellyfish. Must be a lot of jellyfish in space, I guess. I don't know. I really like that card. I'm going to utilize that somehow. The uncommons. Counter on target creature. Let's see, a non-token creature you control with a 1/1 counter dies. Get a token. Alright. It's interesting. Get this guy beefed up and, well, I guess either attack or figure out some way to cheat in some tapping, which is not too tough to do with certain cards. Opponent sacks a creature. Oops, that's not where I put my uncommons. Full art desert land. Let's see. Exile a creature you control. Sack the land. Return each creature card to exile with the land onto the battlefield under owner's control. That's interesting. Be a nice way to save some creatures that are getting targeted for removal. Exile it yourself and then bring it back later after you sack the land. I like that. No, I do believe I saw this thing spoiled. This is outrageous. 2 mana, 3/2, can't be countered, trample hates, creatures can't be countered, combat damage can't be prevented. Can hardly fit any more on that card. A little foil land and a foil uncommon. All right. A lot of 2/2 colorless robot token creation. Some green dealing damage. Another Banishing Light artwork. Uncommons. Target creature gets +1/+0 first strike. At the beginning of combat. Okay, so every turn. That's pretty nice. Not bad, actually. Exile each opponent's graveyard, create a lander token. 2 1/1 counters on this creature, or exiled card with a warp on the bottom of its owner's library. Well, there you go for your spacecraft deck. So you double up your counters. Getting into the creature a little quicker. Foiled jellyfish. And the full art land. These full art lands are awesome. And a token. My camera's like sliding a little bit. Fix the positioning here a second. All right. Sack an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on a creature and draw a card. Love drawing cards. 2 plus the number of creatures or spacecraft you control. I mean, that's not bad for 1 mana. I mean, if you're getting out, especially if you're getting out robot tokens and all sorts of stuff, be doing some decent damage to an attacking or blocking creature in white, and that's pretty good. I know sometimes, they'll give you 3, 4, maybe up to 5, but 2 plus whatever you got, that's pretty good. Each creature with a 1/1 counter has trample. Ooh. Notice a lot of 1/1 counter business going on in this set too. Artifacts, drawing cards, 1/1 counters. Let's see. From reach. 1 mana to get out. Good. 5 equip. Not as good. 10 damage to a creature. Ooh, I like this. I have a deck that's kind of like a wall deck that I use enchantments and different things to do this exact thing. Deal damage from toughness rather than power. Each creature you control with toughness greater than power stations permanence using its toughness. Oh, that's interesting. Help out that spacecraft. Artifact enters, get a 1/1 counter on target creature. That's nice. It doesn't have to be this one. Another space jellyfish. Cast this card from your graveyard using its warp ability. That's nice too. Okay, now this is exactly what I was wanting out of this set, but I didn't want to jinx myself. And I'm going to try not to do any hooping and hollering. I make these videos after my kids go to bed, so I got to make sure I'm not too loud down here. Oh yes, whenever an artifact enters, put a loyalty counter on them and tap artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a 1/1 counter on it for 0. I mean, and this guy's only 3 to get out. Search your library for an artifact card, mana value 1 or less. That's nice for getting out Seed of the Synod, Ancient Den, Vault of Whispers, and my question is what artifact deck to put him in. Probably my Esper one. There's already 2 Tezzeret's in there. I got the Seeker and the Agent of Bolas, so he might need to go in there and join his clones. That is awesome. Destroy artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Surveil 1. There's that dragon. It's a pricey dragon, but dish out a little damage. Exile a creature, spacecraft. There's that nice 1 mana spell again. Yeah, the poor doggo. He looks happy enough. Draw 2 cards and then discard a card. That's not bad. 4 mana. Get him up to 8 for 4/4 flying. There's some more poison counter guy again. The top X of your library, X is the lands you control. 1 into your hand. If it was kicked, put 2 in your hand instead. That's pretty legit later game. Oh, foil mythic. Oh yes, I do remember seeing this spoiled as well. Play a land to cast a spell, draw a card. Awesome. When you end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total, rounded up. Early game might be hurting you a little bit, but 7 mana becoming out late game might just keep you in the game. That is awesome. Put it with my little mythics over here. There's another foil, or I mean not foil, full art land. Love full art lands. I'm so glad they're doing that more often. X less, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. Man, you could be getting that out cheap. These uncommon, or I mean not uncommon, these commons, they're just getting crazy these days. Remember when a 7 mana would get you like a 5/5, and that's it. Doggo again. Target creature puts the artifact or creature's owner puts it on top or bottom, surveil 1. I like that. I like some good removal. That's 4 mana. That's kind of pricey. A little robot here. I haven't seen this yet. When creature enters, return target artifact creature from graveyard to your hand. Oh, I like. Okay. And it's got that void ability. So non-land permanent left or warped, 1/1 counter on them. I like that. Enchant creature is spacecraft. Tap it, and then you control it. It doesn't untap. I'd have to have some sort of cheating to untap it, I guess. Is that so? That doesn't untap. It's not next untap step. That's untap step in general. So it's interesting. Draw 1, surveil 1, draw 1, lose 1. That's not bad. Another one of these lands. The red or black one, pay 3 to make it a 2/2 elemental with X. Creature gets plus X plus 0 until end of turn. Like that. Ooh. I got this card in the bundle too, and I'm very glad I got another one. This is an awesome card. I love multicolored things. If it's 3 or more mana, 3 or more colors in the mana cost, there's a more versatile card. This thing is awesome. Getting tokens, drawing cards. You can't be upset with that. There's that enchantment again in foil. Some more sacking and drawing. Drawing and losing life. 1/1 counter on the jellyfish. Indestructible food. Well, I don't think you want to eat that food. Sack this artifact, gain 3 life, split in the graveyard, draw a card. Not bad, really. Some landfall. Artifact or tapped creature for 4, gain 3 life. Turn 2 non-land permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand, then return 2 target land cards from your graveyard. That is actually pretty legit. 5 mana, get 2 things out of your graveyard, and 2 lands back on tapped. I had not seen that yet. That's awesome. Let's see, at the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, create more robot tokens, like that. Search your library for a basic plains card or a creature card with mana value of 1 or less. Reveal it, put it in your hand. Okay. Got the warp ability. Little robot. Exile an artifact from your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on this creature, and deals damage equal to its power to any target. Okay. Ooh, and a little extra in here. Mythic that I don't know that I've seen. Flying lifelink. 1 or more tokens would be created under your control. Twice that many are created instead. Alright. My token deck can't fit more tokeny business in it. But could be doubling up your robot tokens from this set. And it's a 4/5 flying life. That's good. With warp. Yeah, like that. Guess when my hand's there, it makes the background blur. I didn't notice that. Anyway. Foil swamp. Token. Alright, Space Whale. Okay. Robots. Got the plant scorpion. Well, you gotta have a plant worm too. When it enters, gain 2 life. 5 mana, 5/5. We got the warp. Attack an artifact creature to destroy a creature or spacecraft. Alright. More draw card stuff. Spacecraft enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot. Flying first strike 3/4. Okay. As long as you can get these counters up pretty quick, these really are. Spacecraft are pretty awesome. I like when they add new things in anyway. When they added vehicles in, I like that too. I have a couple vehicle decks. I'm going to probably have to make a new deck revolved around some spacecraft in there too. Destroy a creature and convoke. It's a sorcery, but still not bad. Landfall, create the 2/2 robot. Warp. And yeah, okay. Target player mills cards equal to your life total. They're going to try to make me make a different mill deck. With white in it. Oh boy. It's pretty awesome though. Foil insect horror, land and token. End step, got 2 more tap creatures, gain 2 life, 1/1 counter business. Drawing cards. Enter Surveil 2. A little bit of discarding, but void, make it cost less. Okay. Pay 2 and get that robot. Tapped and attacking, sack it at the end of combat. 1 mana, 2/1. Enters exile up to 1 target non-existent creature until this leaves. Okay. 1/1 counters. What is this? Construct. I don't think I've seen this thing. 2 and X. Trample. It enters. Number of 1/1 counters equal to the mana spent to cast it. When you attack, remove a 1/1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control. If you do, draw a card and create a token. Okay. That is pretty awesome. Oops. Foil, destroy artifact, tap creature. Can do about halfway almost through this box. Might go a little quicker just because now we've seen a little more of these commons. Enters or leaves, draw a card. Sack it to put its stun counter. Okay, I like that. A robot adding some mana. See, when this enters, create a lander token, 8, draw 2 cards, and create a 2/2 token. If you're beefing up your mana, I don't mind sometimes these. I mean, it's a high cost, 8, draw 2, get a token, but some decks you can mana accelerate quite a bit, and it's really not a big deal anymore. I like that. Some gain control, except it adds a little spacecraft business into it, and you can remove the counters from it. It's diabolical. Okay. A plant beast, more plant hybrid creatures. 2 less if your opponent controls 3 or more creatures. 6 mana, 4 or 5/7 reach. Potentially cost less. That's pretty sweet. Oh yeah, I know this card. I like this. Drawing cards, and there's a lot of 1/1 counter stuff going around. Do it once each turn. Turn target creature or enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh, I like that. And get 10 counters on it for a 5/6 flying afterwards. Is not bad. Creature enters, mill 3 cards. Sack them, return the creature or spacecraft from your graveyard to the battlefield for 5. Activate as a sorcery. Might not be bad in the Soul Tide deck. You like to, I mean, obviously Golgari as well, but turn target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, create a 1/1 drone. You can only block things with flying. I like that. Removal and get yourself a token. It deals damage equal to the power of the chosen creature. Can use a warped card for that. Okay. Artifact, sack another artifact, exile top X. X is 1 plus the mana value of it. You can play those cards this turn. blocks creature with flying, beefs it up a little bit, but it's like the opposite of the spiders they used to have that beefs the toughness. This beefs the power. Okay. Command bridge, sack it unless you tap an untapped permanent you control. See, I like that. It's not, it's kind of like, what's it called? Rupture Spires, except you don't have to tap the land, you can tap anything. 9 mana, 9/9 with warp. I would say that is a giant. 3/2. That creature was cast for its warp cost. It also gains trample and haste. Okay. Oh, Make it 10 mana. 12/11 trample haste. Look at that. Right next to each other in the pack. Little fighting. And that one black card, except not the full art. It's a good card. There's that return creature and enchantment, but the foil version. First strike till end of turn, +1/+0. All right. Oh. Sack it, destroy a target non-land permanent, cost 3 less if you attacked with a spacecraft. Okay. Whenever a creature with a 1/1 counter dies, draw a card. Loving all this draw card. Flying hexproof. 10 mana. Sack this creature, deal 3 damage to any target. Target player draws 3 cards, gains 3 life, costs X less, where X is the number differently. This is pretty awesome. I did not see that thing yet. 3 target creature cards, total mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Total mana. Okay. Put a 1/1 counter on each of them. Be pretty sweet too. Spacecraft enters return 2 target non-spacecraft creatures to their owner's hands. 6 mana. And a little milling when he attacks. Okay. Vigilant, when this enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand. They may play that card. It costs 1 more. And lands played entered tapped. Okay. It's like a little setback card, and for 1 mana, come on, 1 mana, 2. I just noticed that. 2/1 vigilance. All right, some powerful stuff. All right. Defender. If an artifact entered, it could attack as though it didn't have Defender. Gun counter on this creature. 2 damage to any target. 3 if you've fulfilled Void. Little Death Touch. Some tapping. And draw a card. Ooh, another command bridge. I like that. Damage to itself equal to its power. If that creature is flying, it deals twice that much. Yeah, interesting. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I see. Never mind. I was getting confused on that card for no reason. Enters, exile permanent. Mana value 2 or less until it leaves. Surveil X number of artifacts, then draw 3. Okay, and an instant. It's pretty good. Oh, the slivers. Affinity for slivers. Slivers you control have double strike and haste. And at your upkeep, create 2 1/1s of it. I don't know if I saw this one yet. Spacecraft enters, sack a land or lander. If you do, search your library for 2 lands. Put them on tapped for 3. It's pretty good. And a nice full art forest. Love the full art. I'd like to get some more of those. All right. Familiar with all those. Double strike. It's got a 1/1 counter. Draw a card. Landfall. There's that insect. Draw you some cards. Will gain control. So you may play additional lands on each of your turns. You may play lands from your graveyard. Okay, I like that. Every land you control enters mill card. Still like it. Foil forest. And that robot token. You're going to need that in this set. See, this would be good to set with that 9/9/2 that comes in warp for 3. Tap it, make him a 10/10 haste. That other thing that gives him trample, I mean, that's obviously better. It'd be nice to. Otherwise, someone can just chump block it, but it's still a pretty hefty thing to happen early on. Some more jellyfish, little tap and stun counters. Makes sense. 3 damage to a creature, or 5 if you control a spacecraft. Nice. 1 mana, 4/1 defender. Now there's that land searching. Story target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a lander token. They can have the lander token. That is nice. Little white card destruction. Or not destroying a white card, but the card itself is white. I like that. The Mythic Plant Worm, okay. Beginning of combat on your turn, put X 1/1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power. That is awesome. That can probably get out of control, I'm sure. And a foil, full art planes, love that. Familiar with all that. Cast your second spell, get a 1/1 token. Can only block creatures flying. Target artifact creature gains indestructible, or you can deal 2 damage to a tapped creature. Ooh, spacecraft with a couple of abilities. At 1 counter, whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life. Flying Death Touch, when it attacks, they discard a card. Each opponent who can't lose 3 life. Oh, what? That's worded weird. Whenever the spacecraft attacks, each opponent discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. I was reading that weird and it's not making sense in my head. I like that. Plant Scorpion. All right. Familiar with all that. this guy, Kavu Pilot. Whenever a land you control enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. This is the second time it has resolved. Draw a card. Okay, I like that. Spend only to cast artifact spells. Tap for 2. Activate artifact sources, abilities. That's pretty awesome too. Ooh. Another fun full art land. Sack to gain a life. Sack a creature, excuse me. You gain 1 life. I like that. Chain a creature you control. Whenever they attack, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard on the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking? What? Oh, I can't. At the beginning of your end step, sack it unless you've fulfilled void. Still, that is pretty awesome. Foil of this Siege Ship Brood Tender. And a nice full art mountain. All right. Draw a card, lose a life if you fulfill void. It's that big plant beast. A little bit of cheap 4/4 if you've cast another spell. Enters 3 damage to any target. Flying and essentially the fire breathing mechanic, except +2/+0. It's pretty cool. Whenever a non-token artifact you control enters, create a colorless artifact token named Munitions. When this token leaves the battlefield, it does 2 damage to any target. It's interesting. To find a way to sack it. Ooh, a foil of the Frenzied Baloth. Like that. Put the counters right on the spacecraft or planet. Put 5 of them, that's pretty good. If your deck is getting spacecraft out there consistently, you might want to save your creatures and just use an instant. Mill 3 cards, return a creature or spacecraft. Another card that's cheaper if you've... Oh no, this is the second spell you cast is 2 less. Oh, that's pretty awesome. 1/1 counter on a creature, draw a card. And Stomping Ground. Ooh, a little extra. Then enter, search your library for a legendary creature card, reveal it, put in your hand. Other tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. Well, I have a 5-color legendary deck, so that might just go perfectly in that. If I can find a spot for it. Nice. Okay, 3 mana, sack an artifact creature, and you can return a creature or spacecraft. 5 or less, though, mana value. And create a lander token. That's a lot going on there. Landfall, put a 1/1 counter on them. During your turn, other creatures get +1/+0 and warp. Ooh, a little dragon. This creature enters, deals 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Flying haste. You can't ever be mad about a dragon. It's got warp, and haste. Hey, you know what? I like this. This goes well with the spacecraft. Tap and untap permanent you control, add 1 mana of any color. If you're still working on beefing up your spacecrafts, then some of them might not be doing much for you anymore, except you could turn them into a land here, essentially. Control enters, exile top card of your library, cast this card this turn. Reach 6/6. It's not bad either. -2, -2. If you fulfill void, -10, -10. Okay. Ooh, a planet. I've not got one of these yet. Enters tapped. And it has station. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary. Oh, that's awesome. Put 1 counter on it for each other creature or artifact you control. Can beef him up pretty good. Or her, I don't know. Whoever it is. When it enters, until end of turn, target creature gets +X/+0. Target opponent's creature gets -0 -X, where X is number of artifacts. It's not bad. Beef up your creature and potentially destroy one of theirs. Search your library for an artifact, reveal it, put it in your hand, or return it from the graveyard. It's good versatility, I like that. 4 mana. Okay. Oh, another planet. Nice. Oh, that's good. Tap to add a green, or tap green and tap to add green for each creature you control. That is awesome. Another Lux Knight. Go through a little quicker. We've seen these. +3/+1, avoid ability. Attach the equipment if you fulfilled void. Right. Okay, that's pretty nice if you got this going in some kind of a burn deck. Mana value 2 or less, copy it, cast the copy for free if you fulfilled void. Nice. Insect Knight reminds me more of like a Hydra. 2 green mana X, comes in with X/1/1 counters. When he leaves the battlefield, put its counters on another creature. And it's got warp. Okay, that's pretty awesome. Warp 1 and X. That seems really awesome. Little Singer. Okay, if a permanent entering would cause an ability, or causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, have it triggered twice. Nice. All right, 3 left here. tap that untap permanent, get that mana. A robot cat. Who cares what the abilities are? It's a robot cat. Vigilance, let's see, for each creature you control with... Oh, that's that one again. Yeah, okay. Artifact. Enters, exile all artifacts, creatures, mana value 2 or less until it leaves. 7, put each card exiled with this artifact into its owner's graveyard and create 2/2 tokens for each one. Nice. Foil robot cat. Oh yes, that's the prize of this box. Full Art Mountain, love it. Breeding Pool. Ooh, yes. I will happily take another Endstone. This one not foil, but who cares? It's awesome. Ooh, and a foil rare. That's a nice... You gotta love a pack with a couple rares and a mythic in there. When this attacks, can put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah. I would love to. And here's the last one. Enters target opponent must or may have you create 2. If they don't, put 2/1 counters on them. Alright. Alpha Reliant, draw 2, discard 2 unless you discard an artifact. Death Touch on your turn. The top 5, Spacecraft. If you didn't put one in your hand, put a 1/1 counter on. Okay. Little countering artifacts, enchantments. Destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Or put into the graveyard this way onto the battlefield. Okay. You know, it's black doing black things and destroying everything, and you gotta lose some life for it. But it's nice to get something back too. And there you have it. That's the whole box. Pretty good in my opinion. Definitely like those couple Endstones and Tezzeret. Very happy about that. Some nice full art lands. I wish I got a little bit more of these crazy arts, but still awesome to get one of these. But if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you stuck with me through the whole thing, it's a little bit longer of a video. Appreciate you sticking through, even if you watch it in segments or even just for a second. I appreciate you. There is another video of me opening a bundle. It is my first time ever doing a pack opening on video. This is the second time, so hopefully it wasn't executed terribly. And make sure to check out any of my other videos of testing decks, going through the decks. Probably be some new decks I've made out of this stuff here in the future. As always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.